The following programme is a full-cast adaptation of Bartleby the Scrivener. It tells the story of a man employed as a copyist in a law firm who suddenly announces that there are aspects of this work that he would prefer not to do.
Been a practitioner of the law. One of those practitioners, I mean, whose work is done in private and who avoids the public gaze. For it has always been my profound conviction that the quietest way of life is the best. My work, therefore, has been with mortgages and title deeds and so on, and I have been brought into more than ordinary contact with a class of men known as scriveners. That is, legal scribes or copyists. Scriveners, I find, are interesting, indeed somewhat singular people, and I could recount many a story of their exploits. But of all the scriveners I have ever encountered, a man named Bartleby was the strangest by far. In order to tell you what I know of Bartleby, I must allow you to eavesdrop on a conversation between myself and a scrivener of mine who was colloquially, though perhaps not affectionately, known as Turkey. Turkey! Turkey?
Yes, sir. A very good morning, sir.
And to you. Is Nippers here yet?
With submission, sir. Nippers, as so often, is late, sir.
Ah, well, perhaps you could pass on my news to him when he arrives.
As you wish, sir. Well, sir?
Turkey, it is my intention to employ a new copyist.
Oh, is it?
Yes, there's a fellow coming to see me on Monday.
On Monday? So soon? I suppose, with submission, sir, that this is on account of the piece of ginger cake?
Ginger cake?
Yes, sir. Last week, sir, I affixed it to a mortgage document in lieu of a seal.
Ah, yes. That is, no, it's nothing to do with the ginger cake.
Then, with submission, sir, it's the blots, is it?
Well, of course, there are blots upon your work, rather too many blots, I fear.
But they do tend to occur almost exclusively in the afternoon.
That's true. Along with incidents such as the ginger cake. In the morning, you work with commendable efficiency.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Your post-meridian endeavours, on the other hand, are, if we are honest, seriously flawed. It's not that you become idle.
Oh, far from it.
Far from it, indeed. Rather, you are somewhat too energetic, inflamed, flighty, reckless.
With submission, sir.
Yes, Turkey?
The blots on my work are marks of my devotion to the cause. With submission, sir, You can't dismiss a man because he's demonstrated an excess of zeal.
Turkey, I have no intention of dismissing you.
Oh. Oh, have you not, sir? Oh, thank you, sir. Oh, so it's Nippers who's being told to go. Well, with submission, sir. Quite right, sir. Quite right.
No. You misunderstand. The new copyist will be an addition to our staff, not a replacement. The fact is, Turkey, business is good. Very good. Conveyancing work is on the increase, and there is more copying than you and Nippers can manage. The work is expanding, and the team, therefore, must do likewise. I must advise you, before we progress any further, that he who bore the sobriquet Nippers was as unsatisfactory a scrivener as was his colleague. He was a younger man than Turkey, and no great friend of his. He suffered from chronic indigestion, as a result of which he would be profoundly irritable.
Oh, damn it! Damn it!
And would utter startling maledictions in the heat of his labours.
Damn it to hellfire!
And would also waste many hours in a desperate attempt to get his desk to a height that absolutely agreed with him. But these difficulties were a morning phenomenon only, and they were remedied, along with the indigestion, by the time Turkey was beginning to blot his copies. Thus it was, aside from the fact of my forbearing disposition, that I found I could endure the two sets of scrivening eccentricities, since, obligingly, they never coincided. The temperamental fits of Nippers and Turkey relieved each other like guards at a sentry post.
Sir, I can't go on. When the desk is like this, my back, indescribable agony. But if I raise the height, then the blood stops circulating in my arms.
Nippers, you are not having a new desk.
Oh,
you
but
have tried 3 different desks in as many months. There is no desk in the world, I think, at which you could sit comfortably. Even Plato's ideal desk, from which all other desks may be supposed to derive their being, even this would disappoint you.
Sir, with submission, sir.
Yes, Turkey?
There's a man waiting outside. He says his name is Bartleby.
Ah, indeed. Send him in. Bartleby was sent in. I can see the poor fellow now, pale and lean, pitiably neat and respectable, incurably forlorn. Well, so you are Bartleby.
Yes.
Very pleased to meet you. You have experience as a scrivener, I take it? Do you, I wonder, have any letters of reference from previous employers?
No. None.
Ah. Well, we'll be able to discover soon enough whether the work will suit you, and indeed whether you'll suit us. I'll give you some copying to do, just a little, and we'll see how you manage. Over here, if you will. I sat Bartleby at a table in the corner of the office, next to a small window which looked out onto the brick wall of a neighbouring building, just 3 feet away. For several moments he stared out through the window, and then he slowly turned his gaze upon the work that lay before him. He completed the copying conscientiously and silently, a marked contrast, I couldn't help but think, to the paroxysms of Turkey and Nippers. This is first-rate, Bartleby. Well done. Now, as to terms of employment...
I accept them.
You might wish to be apprised of them before giving your consent.
I accept them.
Very well. In that case, you may commence your employment here immediately, if you're willing. Are you willing?
Yes. I'm willing.
Splendid. We're in business. I see no reason why you shouldn't work just there, where you are. The window affords a little light, and you'll be within easy call. Is that agreeable?
It's agreeable.
Good, good. But we each need to achieve a degree of privacy, do we not, as well as proximity. So what we'll do, there's a screen in the adjacent room, a blue oriental thing which Turkey and Nippers like to use. We'll borrow that, and we'll place it around your little area. That will serve, I think. Agreed? Good. Excellent. Bartleby. Bartleby, you may stop writing. Bartleby.
What is wanted?
I would like you to stop your writing for a while and bring out what you've done. A day or two had passed. Bartleby, working away in his little partitioned hermitage, had already proved himself to be a most diligent scrivener. He seemed to gorge himself on my documents, as if he were famished for something to copy. I ought, I think, to have been delighted, but he made me uneasy. He wrote in such a silent, mechanical fashion. It seemed to me that he was not cheerfully industrious.
Here. This is what I've done.
Thank you. My, what a vast amount. Did you stay late last night?
A little.
There's no need for that, Bartleby. No need at all. Very neat. Very legible. And I have to say, you manage your labours so quietly and sedately. I can't, of course, comment yet upon the accuracy of this work. For that we must enlist the help of our friends in the other room. You see, Bartleby, you've made 3 copies of the title deeds as requested. So I will read out the original, and Turkey and Nippers and your good self will each be given one of the copies. Turkey, Nippers! And each of you will be able to see as I read if any errors or omissions have occurred.
Yes? Yes, what is it?
Come in, Turkey.
With submission, sir. You called, did you, sir?
Yes, Nippers, I did. Please, both of you, come in. It's copy-checking time. You will have noticed, I trust, the respective moods of these 2 scriveners. The sun was past its zenith. Turkey's combative streak, therefore, was in the ascendancy, while that of his colleague was in decline.
With submission, sir, before we start, sir.
Yes?
Turkey and I...
We'd like our screen back.
With submission, sir.
We just can't work well without it. It's impossible.
We seem to be something of an annoyance and a distraction to each other, sir. Always have been, I'm afraid. Therefore, sir, if the screen is required for you and Bartleby, sir, perhaps you might think about procuring another one for us?
I might.
You'll think about it very, very soon, I hope.
Yes, Turkey, I might.
It needn't be blue or oriental.
No, indeed. In the meantime, copies in triplicate of the deeds to the property at number 10 Church Street. Set for you, Turkey. Set for Nippers.
Thank you.
And one for Bartleby. Bartleby, this set is for you, so you can check it.
I would prefer not to.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I said I would prefer not to.
Forgive me, Bartleby, but you have no choice in the matter.
Even so, I would prefer not to.
But why? What possible objection can you have? Bartleby, this is your own work we're about to look at. To do the checking this way is labour-saving for you. We can deal with all the copies simultaneously. It's standard practice here. Am I not right, Nippers?
With submission, sir, yes, sir.
Turkey?
Well, of course you're right.
Each scrivener may be asked to check another's work.
And he is always obliged to check his own, always, without fail.
It's the way we do it, Bartleby. Common usage, common sense. Surely you can see that.
Yes.
You can?
Yes.
Good. So you'll cooperate, will you?
I would prefer not to. I would prefer not to do any checking at all.
But... Oh, this is absurd. Turkey, is this not absurd?
It's worse than absurd. It's selfishness and it's insolence. That's what it is.
What's your view, Nippers?
With submission, sir, I'm inclined to think that Bartleby is being somewhat less than helpful.
If he won't do the checking, then he should be kicked out of the office, and then kicked down the stairs and kicked into the street. And then, when he's gone, we can have our screen back.
Bartleby seemed impervious either to threats or to reason. He said nothing, but retreated behind the contentious screen, and then, to the accompaniment of frequent noises of angry complaint from Turkey,
Selfishness, insolence, sheer bloody might.
and restrained murmurs from Nippers,
No, it isn't right, really.
the copies were checked without Bartleby's assistance.
Well, have we finished?
We have, Turkey. Thank you so much, both of you.
With submission, sir.
Yes, Nippers?
I think at the very least that Bartleby ought to be severely reprimanded.
I agree. You should get angry with him. You should shout in his face. That's what I'd do if I wasn't kicking him down the stairs.
Yes, I'm sure. But you see, Turkey, such a response isn't possible. Not for me. Bartleby intends no mischief or disrespect. His conduct, though curious, is in its way as involuntary, if you'll forgive me, as your own is when you create your blots, or as that of Nippers here when he has a contretemps with his desk. We can all get along with each other if we try. Towards the end of Bartleby's second week, however, the sweet sense of approval that I had won for my conscience had begun to disappear. I found myself being impatient towards Bartleby the scrivener, and growing tired of that pallid haughtiness of his which had somehow bullied me into accepting his idiosyncrasies. On Friday morning an evil impulse came upon me, and I decided that Bartleby's passive resistance must be defeated. Bartleby, the document that I gave you this morning, the mortgage agreement, is it copied yet?
Almost.
Good. When you finish, tell me, please. You can help me check it.
I would prefer not to.
Bartleby, you surely don't intend to persist in this mulishness. All right. If you're not keen to assist with the checking, perhaps you'd care to take some letters to the post office for me. It isn't far from here.
I would prefer not to.
You mean you won't?
I mean, I would prefer not to.
Damn it, Bartleby! Damn it! Very well. If that's your game, on your own head be it. I had, I suppose, been impetuous. I had dashed thoughtlessly from one useless request to another. Bartleby, from what I could tell, was not fond of leaving the building. He never chose, for instance, to go out for his lunch. I should never have expected him, therefore, to take my letters for me. Indeed, it might be said that by asking him, I had been deliberately inviting rebelliousness. I went into the other room and talked with Nippers and Turkey. It being not yet noon, the former was in fractious mood, the latter placid.
Gentlemen.
Yes?
A word with you both, if I may.
With submission, sir? Certainly, sir. Is there anything the matter, sir?
Yes, Turkey, there is. Concerning Bartleby.
Oh, Bartleby.
I'm afraid that he's declined to check his copy again.
That's an outrage. An absolute outrage.
Also, he's been asked to go to the post office and has refused.
Oh, God, a double outrage, eh, Nippers?
So, you see, the situation isn't quite resolved. Any further thoughts on the Bartleby problem?
Oh, yes. I've got a thought, all right. I'm thinking about giving that exasperating creature a couple of black eyes.
No, Nippers, please. Physical violence won't solve anything.
I didn't say it would, but I'd get great satisfaction from it.
I suppose that other employers in similar circumstances might have dismissed Bartleby on the spot.
Other employers, in my opinion, would never have engaged him in the first place.
Turkey, what's your view of our new recruit?
Well, sir, with submission, sir, it seems to me that there are aspects of his conduct which are not only unconventional, but also rather inconvenient for Nippers and myself.
Oh, I'll black his eyes, I promise you.
But it may also be the case, perhaps, that his unwillingness to cooperate is only a passing whim.
Yes, it may.
Of course, with submission, sir, the final decision about him must rest with you.
Of course. So, what's to be done? The fellow's useful.
Up to a point.
Works hard.
At what he chooses.
I think, taking all in all, that I can get along with him.
I can't.
Oh, come now, Nippers. He has some agreeable qualities, surely. He's very steady, quiet, he seems to be honest and trustworthy. Most particularly, he's never late. And he never leaves early. He's always here, is he not? And aside from all that, what will happen if I decide to dismiss him?
Well, sir, with submission, sir, what will happen is that our screen, which, with submission, sir, you have not yet replaced, will be given back to us, and life will return to blissful normality.
Yes, indeed. What I meant was that Bartleby will need to seek employment elsewhere, and if by chance he should succeed in obtaining it, how will he be treated?
As he deserves, I hope.
I'd hope so too, Nippers. But my fear is that he won't receive a great deal of indulgence. My fear is that he'll be driven out again. In time, he'll become destitute. He'll starve.
But if he stays, what then? He's to sit behind the screen?
Our screen, with submission, sir?
He's to be excused for all time from checking his work, and Turkey and I must do the checking for him. Oh, he is never, ever to go on an errand, but Turkey and I must be sent instead. He's to be granted permanent exemptions and special privileges for no other reason than that he's too damned lazy and stubborn. It isn't right. It isn't fair. Why should we do Bartleby's work just because Bartleby prefers not to?
Thank you, Nippers. That having been said, my letters still need to be taken to the post office. Turkey?
However, that I was a little early for the service, and as my office was nearby, I decided that I would go there and use up the intervening minutes in a comfortable chair, rather than upon an unforgiving pew. Won't turn. That's very curious. Something is obstructing it. Now it's turning. Good Lord. Bartleby.
It is I, yes. I am very sorry, but I am engaged at the present moment, and I would therefore prefer not to admit you.
What? Bartleby, what are you doing here? And why aren't you clothed?
As I have already stated, I am very sorry. Perhaps you could return later?
Later?
If you were to walk slowly round the block, by then I may have concluded my affairs.
I see. Very well. Good Lord. Feebly, I slunk away. I was utterly unnerved and confused, anxious at the same time to discover what Bartleby was up to, and aware that once I had recovered my composure, I ought to make a stand against the quiet effrontery of this strange man. I did as I had been instructed. I walked round the block, slowly. I walked round a second time. Then, full of apprehension, I returned to the door of my office. Bartleby? Bartleby? What has he been doing here? Why was he in such an unfortunate state of undress? He wasn't, I trust, taking part in some shameful act of moral turpitude. No, not Bartleby, surely. On the other hand, it is equally unlikely, is it not, that he was here on the Lord's Day for the purpose of doing extra work. Bartleby is a man of rather decorous habits, the last person I would have thought to violate proprieties by sitting half naked at his desk on a Sunday. Bartleby, are you behind your screen? If so, are you fully clothed? He's gone. He's concluded his affairs, whatever they were. One doesn't like to invade his privacy, but perhaps if I were to look inside his desk, I'd find something which, I don't know, might help me understand the fellow a little. What have we here? A page of newspaper containing a few crumbs of ginger cake. An old bandana handkerchief containing Bartleby's life savings, I suppose. A towel, that is, the ragged remnants thereof. A sliver of soap. Well, the conclusion one has to come to is that he's living here. If it can be called living. He's made this place his home. Every night he's here, and every day of rest, unless his employer disturbs him, here, alone, hiding away, as miserable creatures prefer to do, while their happier brethren are attracted to the light and want to make themselves seen. Poor Bartleby. Poor, sad, friendless, lonely Bartleby. I returned his pathetic belongings to his desk and went out into the street. A fierce, stinging melancholy assailed me, more powerful than I had ever experienced before. I felt a bond of humanity with the wretched scrivener, and resolved that on the following day I would question him in a quiet, calm manner, and try to discover if there was any way in which he might be helped. Bartleby, come here, please. I'm not about to give you a disagreeable assignment. I wish to speak with you, that's all. He made no response. I went towards Bartleby's corner and peered around the screen. He was standing up, looking out through the little window, looking out motionless at the brick wall that was just a few feet away. Well, I simply wondered whether you would be willing, just very briefly, to talk about yourself. To tell me where you were born, for instance, and where you've lived, and who your parents are.
I would prefer not to.
Well, can't you tell me anything about yourself?
I would prefer not to.
But why? I'm not being unfriendly towards you. Quite the contrary. What reasonable objection can you have to obliging me?
At present, I prefer not to offer a reply to that question.
There are some people, Bartleby, some people less patient, accommodating, or indulgent than myself, who might deem you to be unnecessarily reserved and uncooperative, haughty even, disdainful. Listen, if you won't respond to my inquiries, could you at least reconsider your attitude with regard to certain aspects of your job? Could you not find it in yourself to be a little reasonable?
I would prefer not to be a little reasonable.
Well, now, we shall see about that. Show me what you have copied so far today, and we shall check it together.
I have done no copying today.
None? Why?
I preferred not to.
Of course you did, but why?
I would have thought you knew the answer to that.
I'm afraid I don't, Bartleby. Tell me. He said nothing more, and I, for my part, was speechless too. I went back to my desk. I sat and brooded. The pity and sincere sympathy I had felt for poor, forlorn Bartleby was rapidly yielding to an awareness that I could do nothing for this man, since it was his soul that suffered, and his soul I could not reach. I began to think that I could no longer pity him, that I was repelled by him, and even feared him.
With submission, sir.
Yes, Nippers?
My view about the present situation is this.
My view is that he should be kicked out. It's the only way.
Turkey, please. I'd very much prefer it, you know, if you could calm yourself.
Oh!
Continue, Nippers, if you will.
I was simply going to say, sir, that if Bartleby is reluctant to do any work at all, then his continued presence here has very little, if any, justification. You might therefore prefer to wish him farewell and to send him peacefully on his way.
Yes, thank you, Nippers. It's becoming rather a popular word, is it not?
With submission, sir, what is?
Prefer. You used it just now.
Did I, sir?
Yes, Nippers, so did I. Bartleby seems to be exercising an influence over us.
Well, if that's the case, we should kick him out this minute. That's my preference.
I wonder, Bartleby, could you come here just for a moment? I require your help in tying up some documents. It won't be a great inconvenience, your finger pressed down on a piece of string, that's all that's required. Bartleby, I'm a reasonable man, and I very much want to be reasonable with you and fair. But your attitude, you know, makes it extremely hard. If I am to be reasonable, then you, I think, must be so too. You must cease to be perverse, you must begin to be cooperative. And don't tell me that you would prefer not to. I would ask you, Bartleby, to sit down and do your copying.
I have given up copying. I have given it up permanently.
But, Bartleby, that's impossible. By which I mean, you can't expect to stay here as my employee if you have decided to withdraw your labour altogether. Such a situation would be absurd, would it not? Why won't you work? Why? Bartleby, imagine our roles reversed. You the employer, and me the recalcitrant scrivener. For heaven's sake, you wouldn't retain the services of someone who refused to work, now would you? Think again. Please. Tell me you'll resume your copying.
I can't. I have abandoned it entirely.
Well then, you allow me no choice. A week from now, Bartleby, you must leave this office. You will be paid in full, even for your days of inactivity, and I will give you money over and above what you are actually owed. You see how I wish to be of assistance to you, but before the week is over, Bartleby, I urge you to think very seriously about your future employment and your future accommodation. Do you promise me that you will? Oh, if you are willing to provide me with the name of a relative of yours or a friend, someone from your hometown, perhaps. What is your hometown? If I had the appropriate information, you see, I could make inquiries on your behalf, so that you might be helped if you need help, and if you can't help yourself. But if you won't oblige me, then what am I to do? So, as I say, you have 1 week, Bartleby. 1 week. I was certain in my mind that what I was doing was right. Indeed, it seemed to me that I was acting with great kindness and tolerance. Of course, I felt some regret that Bartleby must leave, but I told myself that he had presumed upon my hospitality long enough, that my office was a place of business, not a refuge for the unemployed. The week's grace elapsed. On the evening of the final day, as I buttoned up my coat and prepared to leave, Nippers and Turkey were in celebratory mood.
He's leaving! Oh, we can't be free! No! Turkey cock! Him in for me! Him in for me!
Well, Bartleby.
Yes?
Time, I think, to express my gratitude for all that you've done and to offer you my best wishes for the future. Inside this envelope is the money I promised you. I'll leave it on the desk.
As you wish.
Ah, Bartleby.
We're off!
We can't, in all honesty, say that it's been a pleasure.
Good luck, though, to your next employer, I mean.
Good.
Cheerio!
So, the money's here. Make sure you don't forget it. Or, indeed, any of your personal effects. And please, when you leave the office, if you would lock the door and then slip the key underneath the mat, I'd be most grateful. Right, then, Bartleby. Goodbye. Taking everything into consideration, I think I've dealt with the Bartleby business as properly and decently as anyone could. No vulgar bullying, no bravado or hectoring, no unpleasantness. Another fellow in my position might have read him the Riot Act, might have been very loud and ordered him off the premises. But I've managed things differently. I've simply taken it for granted in a mature, civilized fashion that Bartleby will leave. I've made a quiet assumption. Yes. Good. But to assume that Bartleby will leave is easy enough. The question is, will he prefer to? I can't hear him. Of course, he was never a noisy fellow, but I do believe... Yes, see? The door's locked. He's gone. Deep down, I knew it. He's gone. And the key, I trust, is under...
I'm very sorry. One moment, if you will.
Bartleby!
Yes? It is I.
For an instant, I stood there, unable to move. I was like the man whose death I read of recently, who was leaning out of his window one warm, dreamy, cloudless afternoon, and who was killed by summer lightning. But the man remained at the open window, his pipe in his mouth, until someone came and touched him, and he fell. For an instant, as I say, I was transfixed. Then, managing to regain some semblance of control, I entered the office and went to my desk. Bartleby.
I would prefer not to.
Bartleby, listen. I'm seriously displeased and pained. Indeed I am. I thought better of you. I thought you were a gentleman and would repay my courteous treatment of you in equal measure, but it appears that I was mistaken. Also, you've not taken your money. Bartleby, are you or are you not intending to leave this place?
I would prefer not to.
But you have no right to stay here. You don't pay any rent. You don't pay my taxes. This property isn't yours. If you can't leave, will you at least do some work? Will you copy out a few lines? He said nothing. He stood impassive. There was a powerful urge in me to throw myself at Bartleby's throat and throttle him, squeeze out from his sallow flesh whatever life remained there. But then I like to think I must have remembered the Lord's words. A new commandment I give unto you, that you love one another. Oh, Bartleby. Poor Bartleby. Oh. Nippers, turkey. You may have become aware as you entered the office this morning...
It's an outrage. An absolute outrage. You should never have allowed him back.
I'm not at all sure, Nippers, that he ever left.
With submission, sir, perhaps you should call the police.
Yes.
The police? Turkey? No. On what grounds would he be arrested? He's not aggressive or dangerous. He's not a vagrant. Indeed, he has a very fixed abode.
Look, the answer's perfectly simple. Let me commit an act of extreme violence on the fellow.
I'd rather you didn't. Aside from anything else, just think how you'd repent of your action by the afternoon. Perhaps... I don't know. Perhaps Bartleby must be tolerated.
Oh, with submission, sir? Why?
Because perhaps there is nothing that can be done. Or nothing, at least, that ought to be done. Perhaps even all these events have somehow been predestined.
Predestined?
Perhaps the Almighty in his wisdom has billeted Bartleby on us for some mysterious purpose which it is not for us to try and fathom.
Oh, with submission, sir.
And anyway, why should we throw the fellow out? He's hurt no one. He's harmed no one. He was a trouble to us only when we expected him to work. But if we permit him to remain and we place no conditions upon his doing so, he'll make no fuss, I'm certain. He'll cause no disturbance. He'll be as quiet and unobtrusive as an item of furniture.
But for heaven's sake! With submission, sir.
No, I've decided. Bartleby is to stay. Huff. Morning, Huff.
Good morning to you.
Do take a seat.
Thank you.
Oh, this is Bartleby, whom you may not have met.
Morning, Bartleby. Now, I won't impose upon you too long, I trust, but I wanted to talk about the property in Gutter Lane, number 11, you know, in the sale of which we are each of us professionally involved.
Yes, indeed.
There are one or two minor difficulties, and excuse me for asking, but this gentleman...
Yes?
What is he doing here?
To be truthful, Huff, very little.
But what is he meant to be doing?
To be truthful still, he's meant to be doing nothing at all.
Is he an employee of yours?
He is. That is, he was. You were mentioning some difficulties with Gutter Lane.
Yes. You see, I've been informed by my client that... I'm sorry, but must the fellow stand just here? I find his presence something of a distraction.
Bartleby, perhaps you could sit down at your desk.
I would prefer not to.
Further unfortunate scenes occurred. A client arrived one morning while I was out of the office and was visibly distressed when I returned.
That man over there.
Yes, Bartleby.
Is he deaf? Is he mute? Is he foreign?
No, none of those.
Then whatever is the matter with him? I ask him a question or two and he refuses to answer. He doesn't speak. He doesn't even move.
On another occasion, a lawyer came to see me and discovered that he had left some papers behind.
Perhaps your chap here could go and get them for me.
Well...
What's his name?
Bartleby, but...
Bartleby. My office is just a few minutes' walk away, on Suffolk Lane.
You will not, I think, need me to tell you how Bartleby responded to the lawyer's request. You will readily understand, too, that after incidents such as these, there were unpleasant, illiberal whisperings. References to a sinister creature that I kept at my office, with the result that I began to have serious doubts about the decision I had made. What if this apparition continued to perplex my visitors, scandalize my reputation, and cast a general pall over the premises? What if he should be intent upon perpetual occupancy? I resolved at last that I must change my plan. I must somehow rid myself of this ill-fated incubus. Of course, I wouldn't throw him out of doors. I wouldn't dishonor myself by such an act of cruelty. But get rid of him I must. Afternoon, Bartleby. Did you eat well? Good. Right then, away from the window, please.
I would prefer not...
I know, but there is something I wish to tell you, and Nippers and Turkey must hear this too. They've returned from luncheon, I take it. Nippers! Turkey!
Yes? What is it?
You called, sir?
Come in. I wish to speak to all three of you. I have an important announcement.
Yes, sir.
Well?
I intend that we should go to new premises.
Oh, yes.
With submission, sir. Where?
I've not arranged that quite yet. The move will be done as soon as it's feasible, and I thought I would advise you now, so that the whole process wasn't too much of a shock to any of you.
Will he be joining us at this new place?
If by he you mean Bartleby here, he fully understands, I'm sure, that we are not expecting, when we have moved, that we should benefit from his services.
Benefit from his services? It's a while since we were expecting to do that.
Yes, Turkey, you're right, and for that reason he will not be coming with us. That's clear, Bartleby, is it not?
If it isn't, I'll impress the fact upon him very firmly. He won't be in the slightest doubt about it, I promise you.
I duly found another set of rooms, and on the appointed day the office files and furniture were removed. I requested that the screen be left till the last, in case Bartleby wished to avail himself of it. And indeed, he was hidden from view during the best part of the removal process. Then, when everything else had gone...
With submission, sir.
We'll take the screen now, shall we?
Yes, very well.
You know, sir, with submission, sir, this screen's like an old friend. It's good to have it back.
We should never have been deprived of it in the first place. Altogether, I shall be very glad when things return to how they ought to be.
With submission, sir.
We've been treated very badly. This way.
The two men swiftly folded up the screen. And there was Bartleby, the redundant scrivener, motionless and pale.
We're off now, Bartleby.
So, farewell. A second time.
We won't see you again.
Which is for the best, I think. Don't you?
Right then, Bartleby.
Yes?
Shall we shake hands?
As you wish.
Goodbye. And may God bless you. Yes? Who is it?
Mr. Norton.
Who?
Norton, your former landlord.
Oh, Mr. Norton, indeed. Come in. You look a little troubled. Is there something wrong?
Yes, sir. I'm afraid there is.
What is it? Did I not settle up with you satisfactorily?
Of course you did, sir.
Well, did you not find that your rooms were in good order?
They were in excellent order. Except for the fact that you left behind one of your employees. A man named Bartleby.
Well, to be truthful, Mr. Norton, Bartleby is no longer in my employment, nor was he at the time we moved.
But when you moved, he remained in the office. And he was still there when the new tenant moved in.
I see. Unfortunate.
The new tenant is a lawyer, sir, like yourself. And when he had been given to understand that this Bartleby was a copyist, he gave him work to do.
That was civil of him, but Bartleby, I suppose, refused.
He refused to work. He refused to leave the office.
And then?
He was thrown out.
Very unfortunate.
The problem is, sir, he hasn't left the building. He sits on the stairs during the daytime and sleeps in the entrance hall at night. It can't go on.
No.
My tenants are becoming very agitated, and some of them are threatening to find new premises. If this continues, I shall have to inform the police about your former employee and get him taken away. But I've come to you in the first instance, sir, in case you'd care to speak to him and try and persuade him to move of his own volition. The situation can't be tolerated, you see. That's what he needs to learn.
Yes. As I say, he's not an employee of mine.
Well, he was.
True enough, but I can't be regarded as responsible for the fellow, surely.
Well, forgive me, sir, but if you're not, who is?
Bartleby, what are you doing here?
Sitting on the stairs.
You are the cause of great tribulation to me. Are you aware of that? Bartleby, the fact of the matter is this. You must shift yourself from here. You must obtain some employment and a place to live. What kind of occupation might you be interested in? Would you like to be employed as a scrivener again? Someone surely would be willing to hire you. Or you could be a clerk, perhaps, in an office or a store?
No.
No?
No. Though I'm not particular.
Well, what about work as a travelling salesman? Or you could offer your services as a young gentleman's companion on a continental tour, entertaining him with conversation.
No.
Neither of those.
No. I would prefer to be stationary, but I'm not particular.
Bartleby, you must be particular about something. Indeed, you must. At the very least, you must be particular about leaving this building, and leaving it very soon. The tenants, so I'm told, are becoming exceedingly upset about your presence here. I suppose if you have nowhere to go to and no hope of finding a place, then I must ask you to come with me now and to stay with me. Not at my office, I mean, but at my home. and you can continue there until some suitable arrangement has been made for you. I can do no more than that. I think you'll agree. Let us go. Come, Bartleby. Bartleby!
I would prefer not to. I would much prefer to remain here.
I left the building. I left it, to be truthful, in some haste, anxious as I was that none of Mr. Norton's tenants would accost me and demand to know why Bartleby was not departing with me. For several days I preferred not to go to work, but to stay at home, to lie low. Then, one afternoon, Nippers appeared at my front door.
With submission, sir, I've brought you some news.
Is it of Bartleby by any chance?
Yes, sir, it is. Our former landlord was at the office just now. Came to inform you of action that he's taken.
He's been in touch with the police, I suppose.
With submission, sir, yes, sir. 2 constables came for Bartleby this morning, Mr. Norton says, and they took him away. He offered no resistance, it seems. He went very quietly.
And where, pray, is Bartleby now?
With submission, sir, he's in jail.
He was brought here this morning.
Oh, yes, sir. Bartleby. Hardly got a word out of him. Strange creature.
Yes, he is. But a perfectly honest creature, despite his peculiarities. One who is much deserving, I think, of our compassion.
Compassion?
I mean, he's not a murderer or a thief. He's not really a criminal at all.
Well, trespassing, I believe, is an offence against the law, sir?
Yes, but Bartleby... he's eccentric, that's all. He needs to be treated with kindness.
Oh, right. You're his father, are you, sir?
No. I was his employer for a while. May I visit him?
Certainly, sir.
Thank you.
I'll take you to him now.
Since the charge against the prisoner was in no way serious or disgraceful, Bartleby had been given the freedom to wander around within the prison confines. It was in one of the yards that we came upon him. He was all alone, and the yard was entirely quiet, for the monumental walls which surrounded it, weighing down upon us with their gloom, were of amazing thickness, and muffled all extraneous noise. Bartleby, may we speak? He was standing with his face towards the wall, while all around, from the narrow slits of the prison windows, I thought I saw the eyes of thieves and murderers peering out at him. He didn't move. He stared at the wall. Bartleby.
I recognize your voice, but I have nothing to say to you.
Your being here, you know, is none of my doing. I made every effort to prevent such an outcome. But anyway, no shame attaches to you, I can assure you of that. Nor do I think that you should regard this place as abhorrent. You like to be stationary, do you not? And it is very peaceful here. You have the earth below you and the sky above.
I know where I am. I know where I am.
Well, thank you, officer, for allowing me to see him.
My pleasure, sir.
You will be able to agree with me, I hope, that he is extremely sensitive and fragile. I trust, at the very least, that he'll be treated with politeness.
Politeness? Heavens, yes. We're always polite to our guests.
One final thing. I rather fear for Bartleby's health. He has no appetite, eats very sparingly.
So it is with many of the inmates, at first. But he'll learn to accommodate himself.
I rather doubt that. Perhaps you could arrange for someone to keep an eye on him. And if he asks for any food in particular, ginger cake, for example, you could ensure that his wants are supplied.
I'll do my best, sir. I can do no more.
What help could be found for poor Bartleby? Prison, it was clear, would be of no benefit to him, And yet, if he were to be set free, I could hardly hope for a significant increase in his happiness. If Bartleby were willing to speak to me, to unburden himself, to place his trust in me, then perhaps some progress might be made. A mere 3 days after my previous visit, I returned to the prison.
I'm afraid, sir, that he just won't eat, sir.
Oh dear.
Says he'd prefer not to. He prefers, it seems, to be staring at the wall. Shall I tell you what I think?
Please.
I think the man's deranged.
Where is he?
There. On the other side.
We had entered the same yard where I had seen Bartleby a few days before. His gaunt figure was strangely huddled at the base of the wall, his knees drawn up, his head touching the cold stones. Bartleby. Bartleby. I paused, then went up to him and stooped over him. I saw that his dim, dull eyes were open.
He's asleep, is he, sir?
Something prompted me to touch Bartleby's hand, and it was stiff and cold. I closed his eyes. Yes, he's asleep. Asleep with kings and councillors. I can tell you very little more about Bartleby. It would appear that he had been no more communicative while in prison than during the weeks he spent in my office. And after he died, no one came forward to claim a family connection with him or a knowledge of him from former times. But a little while after his death, I discovered something about Bartleby which, though not perhaps important in itself, I nevertheless imagined to be of some significance. Come in!
Sorry to disturb you, sir.
Good morning.
I've come from the prison, sir.
Yes.
The prison governor requested that I bring you this parcel. It contains the belongings of the fellow who died.
Ah.
There's no one else for them to go to. If you don't want them, they'll be thrown away.
Well then, I must take them. Thank you.
We did our very, very best for him, sir.
Yes, I'm sure you did. He left. With solemn reverence, I placed the parcel on my desk and slowly opened it and laid out the familiar contents. The ragged towel, the bandana handkerchief which no longer contained Bartleby's life savings, the ancient suit, thin and shiny with so much wear. I searched through the pockets of the suit and found a single piece of folded notepaper. Dead Letter Office, Post Office, London, February the 1st, 1853. Dear Sir, we regret that due to a change in our administration, we are obliged to terminate your position here. The Dead Letter Office. This was where he had worked then, shortly before he came to me. Yes, and what could have been more suitable for a man of such hopelessness as Bartleby? What occupation could have been more appropriate than that of consigning undelivered letters to the flames? Letters which offered futile news of hope to those already laid low by unrelieved calamities, or which contained money intended, too late, for
David Collings, Nippers by Jonathan Keeble, Huff by Philip Fox, Norton by John Rowe, and The Prison Officer by Stephen Hogan. The play was directed by Cherry Cookson.